for good or for bad, I don't have anything I would add. This is going to be in English. You can go ahead and you can translate. If you feel you can do better, I don't have time for this anymore. It's disgusting, it's obnoxious, it's a repetition of abuse which took place when they had me drugged up. What I am going to say to you about this video is, I'm sure you remember when I posted you a video about how father came out of the room in the evening and pissed right in front of the room. It was so that during MK Ultra, my father repeatedly had pushed in my face. I think it was also urinated, but sweaty, disgusting, a racket that they claimed they had to use on my father, so my father would not cause them trouble. It was something so extremely repulsive and disgusting, but not as repulsive as disgusting as his attitude. Because whenever they brought me, he would talk to me like at the bed, and he would always come to that. I have no idea what they use as a how they got me actually to want me to smell also his hands, because when they had me tied on that bed where he is lying now inside of that home for elderly people, they would push in my face these things and I would have to smell them whether I liked it or not. But when police brought me to my father, I alone expressed interest in understanding what exactly he will have me smell, this and that. And then he would give me to smell. And in this case, this is no longer about rackets or anything like this. This is about having hands covered with, fingers covered with, and hands too, with the dung, with a human excrement, basically. Something that not only is repeated for MK Ultra scenario, but was used during MK Ultra next to all other violence by a nursing staff, exactly by the lady you're about to hear, to interpretate me issues which they wanted me to pursue as in a form of, or I should say through the eyes of a schizophrenic or something like this, I would say, because it's completely evident about what goes on, and instead they used a fear to suggest me how they're going to do stuff to the father. They're going to torture him, they're going to do bad things to him, and will eventually kill one. All the time it was about killing one. 20 years since 2000 exactly was about killing my father, using him actually to kill me before even finishing him off. That was beginning the 2000s, and so it was all the time the conspiracy theory they ran during MK Ultra on how they torture him and what they're going to do to him and how they're going to kill him and so on, like million stories about. And so they used such methods like repulsive, stinking stink, to basically rape you, tied up against the bed, drugged up, without any ability to defend yourself, on what you would be brainwashed with the issues, with various issues such as, you know, it's natural, it's a disease, it's a disease. On the other hand, they suggested that there's no disease. In fact, he insisted me on the stuff I have to post online to prove even that it's not disease, prior to his departure to home for elderly people. Police wanted to completely design their fable in favor of crime against me, terror, foremost to portray me as mentally ill, as somebody who sees something that does not exist. And so I don't have anything else to say. In this case, you're going to see father with hands covered with the shit, and a nurse who's going to claim that you're going to hear her in Slovenian language. I am not going to go and translate this bullshit. You're going to hear her in Slovenian language insisting that a father, it's a disease. Disease was written that this is a disease by the psychiatry who was by the psychiatrists, not one, but by the psychiatrists that were here inside of this home all the time, by the psychiatrists who ran this case, who ran this genocide from A to Z. They are still in the game, they are still doing this stuff, by the police. And so it's basically it's not. They would want me to portray this, my word against their word, after they labeled me as a paranoid schizophrenic. It is a continuation of the psychiatric, I should say, police brutality. That's as close as it comes to the definition. And the father is riding the top wave. He is in charge. He is doing his stuff. He goes on with it. 48 years of torture, MK Ultra. He was involved since my private child care, and he goes and is doing the stuff like this, wasting time, basically doing his best to assist his police psychiatrists, hoping obviously for the worst. I don't actually know what I would say. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play you a video. Clearly he can hear me. Clearly he is pretending stupid. Clearly he is asking questions, and clearly what kind of questions? These questions are extremely inappropriate for somebody who comes to express his concerns for him, his willingness to aid him, to assist him, to help him. That's one thing. In fact, he goes on to intimidate with it. Very inappropriate. The second thing, maybe I'm gonna play to you this stuff even. I'm nervous about this stuff because it's taking a lot of time from me, unnecessary, and I get to see the most disgusting of the disgusting, basically just for expressing my concern for his well-being. So these people are going to be arrested. They might get arrested the coming week, maybe on Monday, maybe on Tuesday, maybe on Wednesday. It's going to be police at the police station Novo mesto arresting people. Yet they continue to do the stuff like this, which is unprecedented. It goes the same thing to psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje. I don't understand quite where the fuck do you get guts for your continuation or something like this. But I guess that you figure out that as long as you do anything, it's better than nothing. Till you actually get somebody knocked on your doors, talk to you about this and take you out, you're just going to continue to do this stuff. I agree, you got nothing to lose because you already lost everything. In Slovenia, credibility is nothing. In Slovenia, I think you can go and you can kill people on a bright daylight in the middle of the city in front of everybody, bystanders, and nobody will give a shit. It's a normal thing. Rape, kill, whatever it is you do, won't make any difference. This is Slovenia. You know, if I go and I give you, as the first thing, I give you a glimpse of what exactly that looked like. I asked Father in a very nice way if he did, you know, in his pants, if he did. You know, because I see that his hands are covered with human excrement. And so what naturally I want to see if I can video record this stuff, because this concerns hygiene, personal hygiene. So I wanted to see basically what's happening inside of this home for elderly. Either way, it's my job to document absolutely everything that goes on. I'm not doing this to fascinate myself, to fascinate anybody, to get anybody even arrested or anything like this. This is a job I do because these people took away 48 years of life from me, and they continue with something like this that I have to disagree with. So I asked, they don't change your clothing at all? How is it? I'm sure that you remember that Father also was not shaved oftentimes. First I want to establish about what goes on, and so I see that his hands are really filthy. So yeah, he asked me what do I want. I'm gonna play you the video. At the end you're gonna have everything one more time. I guess I will translate this. This isn't much. These are medications for his eyes. This appears sort of like a sugar, and it's still there. And this stuff was used. I was told that this is a sugar, and that I should make the alarm about it and so on and so forth. But the thing is that I mentioned, I'm not going to make it any alarm because I don't work for somebody who's trying to get me killed, who already destroyed me 48 years of my life, talking about the Novo Mesto Police Department, Ljubljana Police Department, Slovenian police overall. I'm not working for you. I'm doing my own investigation, so I can be writing some kind of schizophrenic stories you incited, brainwashed into. So this is basically what makes them legitimate. That's how they grab the attention, they steal attention away for the people, for the politicians, for their elites, for the British royals, basically, that finance this crime. That's like a very, very warm welcome for the British elites, basically. So what I do is, yes, I go and I take the note about absolutely everything that that I can find, record. And so I'm trying to see again if I can see something, and Father just doesn't allow anything. He's holding that stuff with his legs. But look what this is. He offers his hand covered with a dunk. Almost into my camera. So he does again, asking me, what am I searching for? What am I looking for? I said, what do you mean, what I'm looking for? Is that how you greet the person that comes to visit you? I mean, what are you looking for? What are you searching for? Way, way, way more aggressive was present throughout my entire life, throughout his mouth, my entire life. And when I say aggressive, I mean having a rifle pointing in my face, man. Grabbing the oars for paddling on a boat on the river, threatening to kill me. Running after me more than a kilometer with idea to choke me and stuff like this. Come on, man. I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just expressing my concern. So how far will this go, this chaotic stuff? This is not a question addressing to him. This is a question addressing to Slovenian police, to psychiatry. What exactly does it take? What exactly does it take? It's 48 years, don't you hear? It's 48 years. I asked him, I said, is this like maybe the appropriate way to return concerns to an individual who comes for a visit to see how you're doing, if something can be done for you? I said, you don't know how to say hello, hi, how are you, good day to you. I always do. So he was trying to exercise mental control over me, but then again, I'm not interested in allowing anything like this. I am being surveillance at this point. They are anticipating a reaction from me, maybe physical reaction from me, anything. I know exactly where I am, who am I dealing with, and foremost, what goes on. End of the part one. During the part one, what I do is I do go to the nurses and I do talk to them. I ask them like this. I go with good evening. The nurse I'm talking to is the nurse who was, as I am repeating to you this, heavily involved in torture. This nurse is violent. This nurse was ultra violent. This nurse was exercising physical violence on me. Now, I know exactly who I'm talking to in exactly the same light as to Father. I just want to do this stuff professional. However, I don't allow anybody to undermine me. And I just want to make my point. I want to see basically what her point is. I want to make sure that she understands what I'm saying and get her feedback. That's all there is to it.
Jaz sem pošel početi na obvezek, pa vidim, da tam noter smrdi, roke mu se blata, obe roke.
So, I advised her, I came to Father for a visit, and I see inside the room is stinking. His hands are covered with human excrement. And she says, oh, really?
Ja res ne vem, kaj sem prišel v bistvu. Koga še nisem videl, jaz. Ja,
On se je že razmazal. Zlato plenico daje stran, se je že zgodilo.
She is not sure what happened. She's asking me what happened. I said, I don't know what happened. I just came for a visit, and I haven't seen him like this. And she goes, oh, it already happened that before. I did saw him. He did have that before.
Aha, plenica daje stran.
He is pulling diapers off his body because he is not wearing a jumper suit. A jumper suit, this nurse translated to me, a jumper suit was basically ridiculing me, making fool of the psychiatric violence against me. She's making fun of me, talking about how I'm going to be thrown in a loony bin. If I remember being in a loony bin inside a psychiatric hospital, Ljubljana Polje, which you see right there. This is agreement with the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje, Slovenian police, which is running the show together with the local psychiatrist Potrkaj, who was literally hired on behalf of also foreign elites to continue with what you see here.
Aha, razumem. Ker ni dovoljen, že bi...
So, he doesn't have this jumpsuit. Under MK Ultra, this was all about, I'm going to tell you about the jumpsuit and this and that, you know where you are? Inside a psychiatric hospital? That's when you're going to go back to psychiatric hospital. Jumpsuit, that means psychiatric hospital.
Pa je tu, nisem se vodil.
This is a disease, she says. This is a disease. This is a disease, she says.
Kako bolezen?
Ne ve, kaj dela, ne? Nekaj ga moti, pol plenico da strani se razmaše,
I don't know what I'm going to go see. I don't know what he's doing. It's something that bothers him. He takes the diapers away and he is mashing then obviously human excrement. I am going to go and see. She answers to me this in a like, I mean, don't you understand basically what's going on? I mean, it's a disease. And I feel like, in a way, like, why are you even asking me, basically? Why are you asking this stuff? Well, I'm asking because this is what I do. This is what you do when you come to home for elderly people. You make sure that there is hygiene in place and you make sure that there's not some kind of other stuff that's taking place. That's actually my job. Even if I wouldn't be doing this stuff I'm doing, it's expected of a normal average human being to perform exactly what I stated for his relatives, for the people that obviously he is visiting.
Mogoče to dela zato, ker ni pač urejeno, kaj kaže, jaz ne vem, kaj se tukaj dogaja, tako ne bom povedal. Morda ni vse urejeno, tako kot bi moralo bilo.
Njega bolj pajaca nama.
Kaj kaže, jaz ne vem, kaj se tukaj dogaja, tako ne bom povedal. Morda ni vse urejeno, tako kot bi moralo bilo.
Njega bolj pajaca nama.
I tell the lady, listen, I said, maybe not everything is here the way it should be. Because it's asking me like, what do you think, basically? It's like giving an attitude like, what do you think? Why? It's like, I'm going to go see, you know? It's like, what are you asking me? why? So I said, maybe because it's not everything the way it's supposed or should be. I was tortured in this facility for a very, very long time. Apparently also my father was abused in this facility, which I definitely do believe he was abused. He started something, he started as a joke, as a play, voluntarily. A psychiatrist cops took it to the next level and have used him against, I'm not going to say other patients, but residents within this facility. They started to bully the population. In this facility, there are all the stuff that goes on that should not go. It was like this. This is not a good facility. Facility is good, but the people that are running this facility are the same people that ran Auschwitz. They're the same people that ran Joseph Stalin's lagers inside of the Siberias. These are the same people that ran Goli Otok. Goli Otok is an island where they had political prisoners in Yugoslavia. Scratch, ground, basically, on a hot sun. You would have people fucking die all over the place like a fleece. And we got the same people in Slovenia running the home, the facility for elderly people in the Novo mesto city. Don't you understand what I'm trying to tell you? She says the diapers, he destroys them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and change him and fix him up, and we're going to dress him in a jumpsuit. I ensure the lady, when she started to explain to me that he breaks the diapers all through, I don't know why he would be doing that stuff, right? Why would you be doing that kind of stuff? You explain to me this. Either you do something to him, he doesn't feel comfortable, or you're not changing the diapers are full, you're talking inside, you're busy talking inside, not doing your work. That's the second thing. The third thing, you could be doing this stuff together with him, which in this case is. However, I don't say this to her. I don't say anything to her. When she states to me that, this is just like a normal thing, based on her feedback I get, it's a disease related. Obviously, she's referring to like a mental disease. Tearing the diapers down, what's that? That's not a big fucking deal. Is it not? Really? Is all of a sudden changes isn't look like it's a normal thing, like it's not a big deal. And I tell her, the way you're explaining to me this stuff is actually nothing okay based on what I see. The kind of stuff that you are saying, like a disease and this and that, you have another individual also there inside of the room, I remind her, who have also prescribed physical therapy inside. He never got any physical therapy. He got prescribed 30 minutes per day physical therapy. This man never gets. That's a roommate from my father. He never gets any kind of therapy. If it's normal to them, and maybe normal to my father, for what they do, I know that there is other residents that it's not normal to them about what goes on in this facility. Even if they have nothing to do with what was done to me inside of this facility, for which responsibility these people accept none, I have proofs on hand that there's been all kinds of stuff happening in this facility. And when you address me like this is just a disease, like it's a normal stuff like that kind of stuff, number one, this isn't exactly the answer I expect. especially because I approached in a civilized, polite way, simply expressing concern. I don't deserve to have feedback like this. Like basically, it's a normal thing. None of this shit is normal. Me being here inside of this facility wasting time with you, for one thing, is not normal. You are not normal. You're tortured. You're tortured in this facility since 1993. It started when I was brought first to this facility, a home for elderly people, and this shit went on until 2020. Nothing here is normal. That's no less than 25 years. During this 25 years, I was restrained to the bed for each time 1 month on a dozen occasions. Nothing about this stuff is normal. Through my nose, through my nasal hole, they inserted me tubes, feeding tubes, which they use to scratch, to agitate my throat. The pain is impossible to explain. It was the ultimate weapon of local psychiatrists, Potrkaj and Novo mesto police directors and Slovenian politicians. Whenever they wanted to get back at me for resisting, I was tied to the bed. And then it was a nurse Janko that took from within, including the lady that you hear and other staff from Home for Elderly People, especially director and everybody else. Nothing here is normal. When I'm addressing you with the issue like this, your attitude with which you return to me is unacceptable, absolutely unacceptable.
30 minut na dan rehabilitacije fizične, ni tubu ni česa, že 2 meseca.
Kaj to mislite?
Njegov sosed tam nekje noter v tisti sobi. Zato morate mene zaslužiti.
I never said to her anything about myself. I didn't say anything to her. I just mentioned her that there is other people that are not getting what is even prescribed by physicians. Because when they are applying that it's a disease, they're implying on psychiatrists, they're implying on a physician that runs the show through what is known as a paperology, administration basically. You know, one hand covers another. A physician writes a medication, psychiatrist signs, maybe signs one, or I should say physician writes one on behalf of psychiatry, and so on and so forth. It's a bunch of people, little apparatchiks, that the only thing they do is they sign, and you have nurses that the only thing they do is they fill you with that stuff. So, if she wants to be smart in administrative sense, I remind her, you have people who have prescribed physical therapy, and you're not doing anything with them. You didn't give them any kind of physical therapy exercise that, well, basically you're being paid for. Slovenian taxpayer fucking paying you money for this stuff, for the job you're not doing.
Oziroma ne te stvari videti. Jaz razumem, ampak je tako odgovor date, pa ni moja dolžnost tega razumeti.
Ne, hoče se vas pogledati, ja. Gre mi pogledati, ne moramo tam zdaj govoriti.
Alright, so the lady goes. I calm her down, I say thank you very much. So what I do is, I use the opportunity to go to somebody else to talk to. I don't want to disturb people when they work, changing diapers and stuff like this. Don't want to do that. At home, if you remember, I would take my father inside of the bathroom and simply strip one down and wash him entirely so that he would be clean. In this case, what they do is they change the diapers. They are using a hygienic, I don't know what liquid they're using to clean his hands, and goodbye, and that's it. Now, I don't want to stand there and watch them doing their stuff. This is not what I do. And so I mind my own business. I take a little break from the visit.
Ja, se sem prav predvidevala. On je včasih bil pajacu, zato ker si pleničko, ne. To sem vam rekla, naš drugega, veste kaj. Nekaj ga moti, on ne ve. Veste, da ne ve, ne? Pleničko si odpre.
Če ima polne plenice dreka, če se jih ne zameni, če se...
She comes back, she says, I was 100% correct. Exactly what I stated, it's exactly what's going on. I checked him out. He opened his diapers and, you know, she's saying this like in such a way like it's nothing, you know, implying also on a disease by saying is not aware. You know, at that point I tell her, listen, if he's got a full diapers that are making him discomfortable, that's why I asked. I don't know how they perform the work, I don't know how they check on people. I would imagine that that's something that would require them to do the stuff like this. My father also has a tube attached to his stomach. If he's pulling that stuff down, and she earlier stated that he's tearing down diapers, or what can happen at any time if he pulls his tube out of his stomach and nobody's going to even hear him pulling his tube. That's something, by the way, they terrorized me with on how to behave during his visits and stuff. They explained to me, tell me, which one of these people is going to come to assistance? There's no button, there's nothing he could use to call for help, for anything like this, or anybody else for that matter. Inside of that room there are two motionless people. And these people aren't even fucking checking about what goes on, man. They sit inside and they talk to one another, and that's about it.
To je pa tista druga stvar, kako je to z novim zdravjem reka. Če se jih ne zameni, če se ne čist.
A je, seveda je. Se to je bilo že po sedmih,
and she says, of course we did check, but this was checked at, I don't know, something like after 7 o'clock or something like that. And it seems like that he was already having his urgency and so on. Yes, okay. And I used the opportunity to remind him of something else. Now, this is the stuff I'm very well aware. I can't go too far with it, because this is that part I talked to you about a little earlier. This is where basically physicians play with the pencils. One prescribes something, another one signs, and they cover ass to one another. Especially have a family members that don't allow you anywhere near. And I use, now, I said that's about that other part, about his well-being, like, you know, concerning his physical. Basically implying on what's going on with his physical therapy. I mean, we can see that his mental state you're referring to is a disease. Basically, it's like, you know, la 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 la. But it seems like he's not doing very well. Also, in a sense of diarrhea, in a sense of having digestions problem with diarrhea, with she says, we have all this stuff, we have everything recorded, we have everything written. I said, there is a glass of sugar over there next to his bed. That glass of sugar has been there already for some time. Under MK Ultra, I was even suggested that afterwards it was inspected and it was not actually a sugar, there was some other substance. But again, they brainwashed me to say it's sugar. She says, what kind of sugar? What kind of sugar? Where is sugar? I said, you have crystals. You have a glass. There is crystal inside. The thing is, I already demonstrated you this on the blog. This shit has been there already sitting for, I don't know, maybe even 3 weeks. So I asked her, so the cleanliness, the hygiene is important to you, right? So it's important to you. All right, I wake her up a little bit. I thank you very much. Now, this stuff was not done in any way. I stated to you right now. I did inserted my own views. Stuff I did not stress to her. I can assure you of that. I would say polite, but I wouldn't even say straightforward. I was just making sure that they are aware even of their talk. Because these people repeat the stuff. They're good at that. But I'm not really certain how they believe the whole thing will be viewed as it is now. I'm going to play this audio recording again. How basically, through which eyes basically do I see this? I don't see this through the eyes of the schizophrenic. I see this through the eyes of the psychiatrist, through the eyes of the physician employed, through the eyes of the police that doesn't exist, that is doing this shit. Basically, in other words, I know for every issue they bring about how they can cover their ass. So the issues that I trigger concern what they are trying to hide all the time. If you're going to pay attention to it, still it's polite, still it's like official. All right, let's just say official. So I thank you very much, and I let them do their stuff, and then I return. No, I'm gonna wait outside, I tell her. And then comes this part number 3, which is the one you see here. This is basically when I return, they clean him up. If nothing else, even if he doesn't want to see me, which I already explained what the nature of his stay at home for elderly people is, at least he's clean. That's a good thing. It doesn't matter. So you can't say that, what do I want? What am I doing here? At least you have your ass clean, if nothing else. So I come back. He says, say it, we're going to try to fix. When he says, say it, we will help. I say to him, listen, I'm not here because I'm the one who needs the help. I tell him, please make sure that everything is going to be okay with you. Don't think about me, I tell him. Just make sure to do best for yourself. And he's asking me, he asked me further, he says, are you, if we, that's no more people, if we finished, If we are finished with the school, yeah. But this is a frequent stuff. Basically, it's always like this. This is something, but everything, this is a camouflage. Within this camouflage that's being used to display like demented person, you see, he's doing this stuff to himself, you know. He's doing this stuff to himself. They have used issues that were deeply, deeply, deeply disturbing. Now, when he asked me about if we are finished with a class, with like I was in the school, I said to him, yeah, we are finished. With the class finished, yeah, the school finished, yeah, that's right. No, father would not even recognize me when I would come. And that's in how poor state of mind he was. In a parenthesis, you know, that you would not even recognize your son. Now that would be like a really, really, really shocker. I mean, that you would be in such a poor state of mind that you would not recognize your son, which was like a frequent stuff. He displayed. He thought he would bully me, that he would get some kind of emotional reaction from me and stuff like this. That's like really, really poor state of mind. But, you know, I remind him, I said to him, you know, as an adult man as I am, you know, I'm 52 now, almost. He's talking about somebody who was 12, 14 years old, 18 years old, and it looks very different. And so I said to him, you know, it's good that you recognize me, by the way. And when I say this stuff, you can see the emotion on his face is not very convincing, really. I'm not showing any emotions to him. He's not. He's just. I said. I said, I came to visit you to see how you're doing, and he's saying to me, I cannot hear. I cannot hear. I said, really? You cannot hear? Really? Would you like me to give you a hearing aid, Daddy? Can I give you a hearing aid? I said, wait, I'm going to give you a hearing aid. Because my father already violently rejected, I should say, used opportunity when I would try to insert him a hearing aid in his ears, even with his approval. He violently reacted, yes. He only did this to me once, twice, never again, maybe only once, because what you see here became my common practice, because I know the only thing he's doing is basically is waiting for the opportunity to create a conflict. And guess what? Not because it would be bad for me, because he would depict me in a wrong light or something like this. I cannot afford myself because of my own issues. I can't go to the level like this, you know? It's like, how can I say? You can't fall lower than this. Look at this. So I am being really, 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 really nice. When they were trying to clean his mouth, and I don't doubt that they bullied him with it. I don't doubt that they did stuff to him. that they soak his saliva out of the mouth with a machine. He was biting tubes and stuff like this. He never allowed to clean his ears. If you would try to put him like a hearing aid and stuff like this, it would give a physical resistance to it, like you're fucking trying to do something to him or something like this. Now, my knowing him, so what he is doing in that bed right there, what the opportunity is trying to seize, I even removed the hearing aid which I had demonstrated to one first, because he would always act like in a way like you're trying to do something to him. That's why the camera is rolling, to protect myself. He saw me with the hearing aid. He didn't say yes, he didn't say no. A little earlier, however, he requested for one. Before he gets to grab my hand or push me away or something like that, I already moved the hearing aid away. Not because I would be scared, but for my own mental shit's sake. Alright? Look at this. Look at this. What the fuck is this? He had never seen the hearing aid. This man does not fucking know what the hearing aid is. He knows me, but he doesn't know what the hearing aid is. He, after all, have never seen one, even if he used one every fucking day for the last 20 years. He does not know what the fucking hearing aid is. He had 5 of them, but still, he does not know what a fucking hearing aid is. He cannot hear me, and he does not know what a hearing aid is. You get the point? Does not know what a fucking hearing aid is. He does not, you don't hear, and you don't know what a hearing aid is. Wonderful. So, this was a visit to my father, basically. Let me see if there's like anything else here to report. If I work today, yeah. If I was still working today, if I was still at work today. Yeah. What I do is, I tell him I was at the Črtalić, at the Črtalić I was. I don't know what exactly he would be referring to me at my work. In Slovenia, I practically never worked. I worked as a DHL agent one time, on the black market, unofficially, and I worked for the youth of young people in Slovenia, and all this stuff was very brief for his friend also, Črtalić. That's basically what I worked for, $100 entire month, like 80 hours a week. So what would he be knowing me about if I still work and giving me his feedback? He can hear me, he cannot hear me. Oh, no, there's no hearing aid. There you go. Oh, and that's that basically. You see, where would I like to go? Where would you like to go? No, where would you like to go? British elites need this shit. They need this stuff. They need this fucking word of gold, man. I said to him, he's asking me questions. He's asking me another question. I said, please don't forget that you cannot hear me when you're asking me the questions. I said to him, don't forget that you cannot hear me when you're asking me questions. And I'm laughing. He's just not getting what he wanted he would get, basically. You know what he is getting? He's getting my fucking wasting time on this shit. He's making me more sick. And that's basically what I was told during MK Ultra also the case is gonna be. He's 91 years old and yeah, he's not done with it. He's talking about my boss. A little earlier asked me if I still work. To ask my boss so that he can tell me exactly when can I do this and that in respect to my job, whatever that he is munching. Yeah, now he's talking about employment. He's giving me now instructions on how this needs to be done. Whatever. Psychiatrists are trying to test me basically to see what exactly do I even understand is happening here, and I think they have miserably failed. I checked the father for any pain, any irregularities he would have to update on his cardiovascular issues. And then since he started to talk to me about the employment, you know, and because this news also was involved in MK Ultra. Yeah. Gotta do is, because yes, this was involved in MK Ultra, they're paying 6,000, not 8,000, but 6,000 euros per month just for the laying in the bed. Yeah, this was a big deal during Slovenia, that they're paying, they're doing a research with European agency through the through Slovenian Institute Joseph Stefan. And they're paying a lot of people just to the healthy people, young healthy people, just to lay down in the bed, basically. For 60 days, inside of the bed, from age 18 to 45, you get 12,000 euros brutto. Huh? Okay? So when he's talking to me about the job and about the stuff, I can't help to remind him, as an old man as he is, how wealthy he made the police, psychiatry, Slovenian psychiatry, how good prospect he is when he voluntarily, even if not, he is, have subjected himself to the torture. I mean, they should pay more if you're like 91, right? Or like you're 85 or you're 75 and you're dumb enough to do this. You're making Slovenian state wealthy, my daddy. But what I do is I tell him, you know, that you wanted to have it this way. That's how you want it, and that's it. You got exactly what you wanted to have, but it's not exactly better, right? It could be better at home, could be different. This was not necessary, but this is what you wanted. I told him, Daddy, I wanted to help you out. I wanted to keep you at home, take care. But you wanted to give a hand to police again. And it just, nothing came out of it. I tell him, you make the police officers wealthy. Look how he goes to his ear. He wants to hear. I tell him, you know, for 1 month in the bed, they pay 8,000 euros per month. And look what he's doing with his ears. I tell him further, you made the Slovenian police wealthy. You know, you made them really, really wealthy, not only healthy. They don't give a fuck. They got their pay, they got their salaries, and on top of that, they get also this. They do. They do. They did, and they do. And I said, what about you? What do you get? I say, and what is health after all? I tell him, health is not worth much, you're right. He is talking something about the optic, stuff like that. Yeah, no. He understood me very well. Yeah, I said, that's right, you're 100% right. I don't go for what he hear or he does not hear or this or that. I was just checking on him to see how the health is. I'm glad he's got his diapers changed, clean. I tell him, sleep well, and tomorrow we will see each other again. I was happy to see you again, how you're doing. And that's all there is to it. He's asking if I did go fishing. I said no, I'm waiting for you, I told him. So that we can go together. He is asking me, I said, we see each other tomorrow, and he's asking me when I come again. I tell him tomorrow we're going to see each other again. He says in the morning or in afternoon. He didn't get nothing he was hoped for. They hope they're going to get something. Oh, they got nothing really. I said, where would you like me to come to see you? Morning and afternoon. What do you prefer? He doesn't hear anything. He's asking me, what is it all about? What is all about? I come to visit you tomorrow. It's for you, Father. Everything is for you.
Na vrata bom potrkal,
I'm gonna knock. Now he's again giving me some kind of MK Ultra brainwash, which knock on the door. Knock on the door. Now that's actually a casket. You're gonna be knocking on the door, and then you're gonna hear what? He's getting ready to get into the casket, and I'm gonna be knocking on the casket, and he's gonna give me a feedback from the casket. Tako. Bye bye.
Jutro se vidimo, ajde. Pa lahko pogledam tle, kako si te.
Oh, I asked, can I look how you're doing there? And I see he's got his jumpsuit now. Now it actually can be seen. Before, I couldn't see anything, so.
Ajde, lepo se mej, ne? Ajde, adijo. Jutr se vidimo, ajde. Jutr se vidimo, ajde. Živja. Lahko noč.
So, I feel sorry for the father because he is at this age and he's got to do the stuff like this. This rather is sad, if anything else. This is really sad. They have him like this, and they poisoned him. They did this to him, and he became literally a prisoner, a hostage of psychiatrist Potrkaj's delusions. I don't know how I would even refer to this stuff. What I am going to do is I am going to go ahead in Slovenian language. I will play to you one more time. I'm going to play to you a video, then I'm going to play you audio. Everything from here on it's going to be a Slovenian language. There will be no translation. Translation was done best to my abilities. I wasn't even on a plan on this shit. It always takes tremendous amount of time. It's even disgusting. And it brings about the worst shit in this world you can stress in somebody's face. You know, in Poland, I had a guy. They did the same thing in this asylum center. They were playing also with the human excrements and stuff like this, leaving them all over the toilet and stuff like this. They were playing a lot with the human excrements during MK Ultra. It was like it's toxic. No, it actually demonstrates the British culture, basically how low these people have authorized this royals. Talking about the royals, for this whole thing to go, how low they were willing to get. I mean, is it like a new low that possibly could get to this stuff? It can't be. As a matter of fact, this is the end of the video. I'm not going to be playing anything to you. Right below, you're going to find the whole thing. You're going to find the video number 1, you're going to find the recording, and you're going to find the video number 3. I am going to join the 3 pieces into one piece. It's all going to be in Slovenian language. I will not be repeating this stuff because it's too much time for me. Thanks for watching this video. Today's date time, if I give you thanks for watching. Till next time.